Today we will be discussing declining sex ratio in India. So this is also a subtopic of your second chapter, and I have already shared this PPT earlier, so I hope all of you all have gone through it. So let's read. Sex ratio is defined as the number of females per thousand males. So how many females are there out of every thousand males is the sex ratio. Number of females per thousand males. It is an important indicator of gender balance in the population. So sex ratio, it reveals how many females are there, how many males are there in the country, in a state. So it shows whether the population, the gender population, whether the number of females and number of males are balanced in a country. So the sex ratio of India has been declining. So please follow the table. I cannot show you the table here, so please follow table number 3. So the number of females in India has been declining. That is why the sex ratio is declining. From 972 females per thousand males in the year 1901, the sex ratio declined to 933 in 2001. Please remember the numbers, it is important. So in the year 1901, there were 972 females per thousand males, which came down to 933 females in the year 2001 per thousand males. So it has been declining. Sex ratio was the lowest in the year 1999. 927 females per thousand males. So the year 1999 was the year where the number of females per thousand males was the lowest, that is 927. According to 2011 census, sex ratio is 943. So remember this, according to the latest census of 2011, sex ratio, that is number of females per males, is 943. That is sex ratio, that is number of females per thousand males. And please follow the table. Please go through it and remember the important numbers and dates. Year. So child sex ratio began to be documented since the year 1961. So what is child sex ratio? It may be defined as the number of females per thousand males in the age group 0 to 6 years. So child sex ratio is the same as sex ratio, but the only difference is that child sex ratio is counted from the age group 0 to 6 years. Number of females per thousand males in the age group 0 to 6 years is the child sex ratio. Alright. So here again, you need to go back to the table. According to the table 3, the child sex ratio has been declining. So there are less number of girl child in the age group 0 to 6 years in comparison to male. So the child sex ratio, CSR, in the year 1961 was 976, whereas CSR in the year 2011 was 919. So it has declined. In the year 1961 it was 976, whereas in the year 2011 it was 919. CSR had been higher than overall sex ratio since 1961. Obviously, because since CSR has been started to be documented since 1961, since then it has always been higher than the overall sex ratio. But between 1991 to 2001, overall sex ratio declined from 927 to 933. So between the time period of 1991 to 2001, the overall sex ratio, it increased from 927 to 933. But on the other hand, the child sex ratio, it declined in the same period from 945 to 927. So now it is lower than the overall sex ratio. Earlier it was higher. Okay, so in period between 1991 to 2001, overall sex ratio, it increased from 927 to 933, whereas child sex ratio, it declined from 945 to 927. Since then, CSR has been lower than the overall sex ratio. Okay. According to the 2011 census, child sex ratio is 919. Please remember. So Haryana has the lowest child sex ratio of 793. So Haryana has the lowest CSR, lowest number of females in the age group 0 to 6 years, followed by Punjab, Jammu and Kashmir, Delhi, Chandigarh, Uttarakhand and Himachal Pradesh. So you need to remember these. Uttar Pradesh, Himachal Pradesh, Lakshadweep and Madhya Pradesh have CSR lower than 925. So all these states have a child sex ratio lower than 925 females per 1000 males in the age group 0 to 6 years. States such as West Bengal, Assam, Bihar, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka are above the national average of 919 but below 970. So you should remember all these states. Kerala has an overall sex ratio of 964 and Arunachal Pradesh it has the highest child sex ratio of 972. So why is there a decline in sex ratio? Why is there a less number of female in comparison to male? Okay, so like it is said that the major reason for the decline in the number of female is because women are affected by the process of childbearing. So they are trying to say that women die in the process of childbirth. Some women die after giving birth to their child, some die during the childbirth, some die when they are pregnant. So the process of childbearing, the process of carrying a baby in their womb kills many women. That is what they're saying. So that is when a woman dies in the process of childbearing, that is maternal mortality, like we've studied earlier. So but then maternal mortality rate is supposed to decline with development as there is an improvement in the levels of nutrition, education, and there is an availability of medical facilities. So they are saying that with development, maternal mortality should decline as the people get proper food to eat, they get proper nutrition, at least required level of nutrition. There is availability of medical facilities, there is hospitals, there are programs which teaches people how to teaches the woman and her husband how to take care of the child or how to take care of the would-be mother. So they are saying that with development, maternal mortality is supposed to decline. So they are saying that as women, they are the child bearers. There is less number of female because females may die in the process of childbearing.